Okay, so this is the Kersey Guitar R17 prototype, obviously referencing that beautiful Renault R17. It's one of those things where I saw the car, I think it came up on an Instagram advert, and I was like, what is that? I had to see it, and I think it was the colour really that just like drew me in immediately, because I just thought that is the coolest colour I think I've ever seen. I've got to make a guitar like that. So a little backstory, basically that car, it was a car from I think the 70s that Renault have done a sort of retro mod, so they put an EV into a classic sort of design. And collaborated with this French designer, and he has done an amazing job on the styling. The interior, as you can see, has this amazing sort of crushed white fabric with a square fabric steering wheel. The dashboard looks like a clock. It's just like super wacky. I'm like, I want to drive that and drive around in that. And then the exterior's got all these really cool lines in the bodywork. And that's what I really like about cars. I just think a car should like make you feel cool and want to drive it. And when I saw it, I was just like, yeah, that's so cool. So the thing about cars and guitars, they kind of go so well together. And I've always, a bit like with the Sequoia, like it was a bit like an E-type Jag sort of had in mind, I think, when I was making it, with all the curves and things. And I think that's what I wanted to do with this model, because I built another one of these for a client, which was a commission, and that actually we just had a square body, a bit like a telly, but I was kind of interested to see what having some curves in it and just taking away a little bit of the body when you come in up the neck would feel like, because it was a very nicely balanced guitar. But yeah, I just felt like you could kind of hug it a little bit more, which actually I'm really happy I've done that, because it just makes it a completely different playing experience. You don't really understand like how a guitar is going to feel until you sit down with it and just, you know, sit with it for a minute with the strings on. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this is now sitting. It's a short scale, a bit like the Sequoia again. So it has that feeling of being a little smaller and just easy for your like arm and everything when you're sitting down. So yeah, and I just like short scale guitars. I think they just have a nice sound to them really, and the string tension and everything is just what I like in a guitar. So some of the features, obviously we've got this amazing paint, so when I saw that car, I was like, okay, I want to build a guitar, and I reached out to a spray company that I use, and they are actually a custom car paint spray company, so called New Again, and I've used them a few times. Like I say, the guy, he's a really nice guy, so I sent the picture of the car. I was like, can you do this color? He was like, yeah, we can do it. Sent me his paint sample. I was like, perfect. So yeah, this color, and then like a matching headstock, and it really accentuates, I think, all the curves and the hard lines as well in the body. We've got a maple neck and a walnut fretboard, which I've never actually used walnut in a guitar that I've made before, but I had some lying about, and because this was just going to be a prototype, I wanted to use up some wood that was lying about, and this was a slab sawn piece of walnut, and it just looks great. I think the grain on it just looks really cool. So yeah, I was really happy with that. That's the thing about wood, is like you can get really lucky with some of the grain, and it just makes the guitar really interesting, I think. So that was cool. Then we've got a trem on this. Another thing I've been wanting to do is make a guitar, because people ask me on this, can you put a trem on it? I'm like, you can, but obviously, well, basically with the Sequoia, it's a 3-in-3 headstock, so the strings are going to go off to the side, which is fine. But obviously, once you start putting in a trem, when you're pulling the tension, really you want the strings to go straight like this. So that obviously there's no friction, as much as you can get rid of anyway. So that's what we've done on this. Obviously, it being a 6-in line, there's no tension there. We've got the Goto stagger tuners, so again, the actual string, the break angle, that's really good for that, because again, there's no friction from like a string tree. And then it's floating on a 2-point Goto trem, so it's really stable. and you get a nice flutter from it, which is how I mean, that's how I like to use a trem. But you could set this up for like doing a bit of dive bombing and squealing around, but I don't play like that, so yeah. Anyway, so as well as that, we've got two P90s that I've wound up. Now these P90s are a new set that I've been making. I just put a set on the latest Sequoia that I built, and they are my favourite set of pickups I've made so far. They are using a 43 gauge wire with a really nice wind count on them as well, so they're quite hot, a really nice creamy compression to them, and it kind of results in when you hit the string, it's quite snappy. So obviously with that shorter scale as well, I think it just adds all together and just generally makes for a nice sound. So yeah, and then we've got these funny little brown cake knobs, which I saw on all parts and was like, yeah, that'll go for the 70s sort of styling. But overall, I'm really happy with this guitar. It's going to be up on the website, and yeah, if you want to order one in a slightly different color scheme, feel free. Let me know as well, because we're going to be doing more of these sort of like referenced, inspired builds. If you've got any like cars, I mean, cars is like one of my main reference points, but anything you think's cool, send me a message in the comments or what have you, and yeah, maybe I'll make something down the line. But thanks for watching. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be great, because we're gonna, as I say, do a lot more videos. Got some really cool ones coming out, and yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you later.